Okay, we're good.
This is being live streamed. Hey.
Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining our virtual event featuring the Bank On program, what it entails, and how to access it, the benefits that it provides, and we're going to find out more about how to apply for the program as well. We have some slides translated into Spanish, so please let us know if you need that as we go along this evening. Now I'd like to welcome our very special guest. I'm so excited, Mia Werner, to introduce herself, what her role is, what she does, and a little bit more about herself. Take it away, Mia.
Hi, thank you so much, Representative Harris. Really appreciate you inviting me to join today and be here and talk a little bit about what I do, and that is all to do with the Bank On program. I run the Bank On of Greater Orlando program here at the Heart of Florida United Way. And I am our program manager as well as our coalition leader here in Orlando. Happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, we are really happy to have you here today. So I have heard about the Bank On program, and I really thought it would be such a great a program for our listeners to learn and know more about. I know it can really benefit them. So Mia, what exactly is the Bank On program?
Yeah, so the Bank On program is essentially a program that helps provide awareness around Bank On certified accounts. And so a Bank On certified account has a lot of great benefits, but not many people know what it is. And so the Bank On program really talks about what a Bank On certified account is and all the benefits that it can help our individuals and families within the community, both ourselves and our friends and family that we know.
That's amazing. You know, before my daughter, when she was young, before my husband finished school, we actually really struggled with money, and we would have to go to a lot of check cashing places. And I know there's a lot of fees involved when you have to cash a check, or you know, you also don't get your paycheck isn't direct deposited, and you usually find hidden fees or requirements when you sign up for a checking account, but with Bank On you don't.
No, you absolutely do not. I am very glad to say that no, there are no hidden fees with these accounts. So I'm going to share my screen and actually show you just what the difference looks like between a regular checking account and a Bank On certified account. So allow me to share here. All right, Representative, can you see my screen okay?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. So I'll move my little, oh, I don't know if I can. Okay, that's okay. So in any case, the difference between a regular checking account and a Bank On certified account is, like you said, there are no hidden fees, right? So a Bank On certified account is one that is an account, it's a checking account. It can be a checking account, or technically it can be a prepaid account if the bank wants to offer that. 9 times out of 10, you're going to see that they're checking accounts. But there are no fees for overdraft, for your insufficient funds, your inactivity, dormancy, low balance, account activation, or account closure. So really nothing there to worry about. The monthly maintenance fee is never allowed to be more than $5. And with that, the Bank On National Account Standards, that's this handy little seal right here in the top, they say that if you are a Bank On certified account, you have to charge, or if you're charging, I'm sorry, $5 maximum, or if you're charging more than that, the max you can charge for any of these accounts is $10. And if you charge that, you have to offer at least 2 different ways for the consumer to waive that fee completely. So a lot of times it's what you were talking about with getting signed up for direct deposit. So it's really easy. You can get your paycheck directly deposited into that account and boom, it's waived. So that account becomes completely free. These also have a minimum opening deposit amount of $25. That is it. There is never going to be more than that. So it's very accessible. You don't need a whole lot to get started. And I'll tell you, we have, let's see, I think there are around 24, maybe 25 last time I checked, bank accounts that are Bank On certified accounts right here in Florida. that if you are a resident of Florida, you can sign up for. And like I said, out of those 24, 25, a little more than half of them right now, you don't need anything to get started. It's zero. It's absolutely
Wow.
zero. So you can get in, you do not have to fund it immediately. If you are, say, for example, maybe you're getting a new job and you've just gotten the interview, you've gotten your offer letter, you're real excited, you're going to be starting in 2 weeks. You need to get set up with a bank account so that you know where your paycheck is going, right? So getting signed up for that direct deposit, maybe you don't have anything immediately to get started, that's totally fine. Your first paycheck, when that comes in within probably a month or so, that'll hit and you'll be covered. So these accounts are really accessible. Like I said, really affordable, which is great. And last perk that these have as a requirement is that they have to offer free bill pay through your bank or your credit union. So what that means is basically you would connect your utility provider. Say, for me, my energy provider is Duke. So I would connect my Duke account specifically to my bank and say, okay, whenever I have to go to pay that bill each month, I want that money taken directly out of my account and I'm done with it. I don't have to pay any extra admin fees or convenience fees or none of that nonsense. It's just immediately taken care of and I can have that through my bank or credit union. So it's a lot of great benefits that these accounts offer. And like you said, or no, I don't think like you said yet, but like I very much am about to say is that these have a lot of the same functionality as a regular checking account. They are very similar. So you still get your debit card, you still get your ATMs and network. You can go into a branch. These are federally insured accounts. So that is a very, very important, move forward. But that is a very, very important and key feature of these accounts as well, is that they are federally insured up to the maximum limit of $250,000. So you're not going to lose your money. This is very different from using an online provider, maybe like a fintech option, if you're using Chime or Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, any of those. This is a much more secure option, I would say. And 9 times out of 10, it's either the same amount that it's going to cost you because there aren't any fees with these, or you might even save money because they're not going to charge you these and you know it for a fact. So it's a really good option, especially if you've never had an account before, or if you have had an account before. This is something that I always like to ask, whoever I'm talking to is, what's your banking status? Do you have a bank account, Representative Harris?
I do.
You do. And how long have you had your bank account? Have you been with your bank for a long time?
I have been with it, and it's changed names a couple of times, as we know that tends to happen with banks.
That does. Yep, absolutely. I was the same way. I started at BB&T, and then that one became Truist when it merged with SunTrust, and so that went through a bank change as well, or name change as well. But this is the kind of thing where I would say if you are brand new to banking and you've never had an account before, a bank on certified account is a great starting or foundational point. But if you have had a bank in the past, if you have been banking, what I would say is think about your own bank account, think about your own status, your personal finances, and what works for you. One of the things that I always like to point out is that there's a difference between a bank account that works, you can get your money in and out, you can talk to customer service if you need to, if you have any problems. If you need to go into a branch, you can make your withdrawals and deposits, things like that. Something that just works, Do you have an account that works? Or do you have an account that works for you? An account that's actually going to build your savings instead of just keeping it safe. It's actually going to add to that wealth. It's actually going to give you more options, more availability, whether or not that's tools to use where you can actually put your own budget together and do all kinds of fun stuff, or if that's access to financial advisors, free financial education. I mean, that's stuff that's offered by so many different banks and credit unions now. And not enough people, at least in my opinion, are taking advantage, So that's something that I definitely like to mention as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at all of the benefits that it has, and it's just incredible. The no fees for overdraft, which is just huge. You know, and like you said, the ability to pay a bill, you know, set it up for auto pay, so you're not trying to worry about going to, you know, a place to get, you know, a money order or finding a way to pay your bills in that way. It's just so much more convenient, and access to a debit card. And I was going to ask you, does this only apply to personal checking accounts? Is that what the Bank On applies with?
Yes. So yes, that's a great question. These are only checking, or like I mentioned earlier, they can be prepaid accounts. That is, they just have to be a transactional account is technically how that works. So it wouldn't work for a savings, or wouldn't be a savings necessarily, because that's not known as a transactional account. You want to put money in, and ideally you want to save that money, right? So
Yes.
with the checking, you know, this money is meant to go in and out, but like you said earlier, not penalize you if you do not have a lot to begin with. If you don't have a lot of
Yeah.
funds or a lot of money to get started with, you're not dealing with inactivity. That's one that I see that's a huge money drain for people. Not, you know, if you're going through a life event and you are not able to work for some reason, you don't have an income, that is something that you really shouldn't be penalized for if you are not making deposits into your account. But you know, inactivity fees are a thing. They're out there. And so that's something that specifically the national account standards, like I said, that seal in the top right there, that is the list of requirements that says, no, you cannot charge these fees. These are meant to really help get people into a solid and secure, affordable account that's not going to drain them, not going to charge them all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, again, I'm looking at the minimum opening deposit. For so many people, that is an issue. They don't have, you know, enough money to make a big deposit, you know, to satisfy that requirement, or, you know, the monthly maintenance fees that, you know, they might not have, you know, enough money in the bank consistently on a monthly basis to, you know, reduce the fees. And so therefore they open an account that has a little bit more of a monthly fee. And here, you know, it's either $0 or $5 max. That's incredible. It's an incredible opportunity for people, you know, that need that banking service. I was also going to ask if there was an income level requirement to qualify for this program.
There is absolutely no income level required to get a Bank On certified account, or to sign up for a Bank On certified account. All
Wow.
you need, Representative Harris, is the normal checklist of things that you would need to open a bank account, right? So you have to generally be 18 years or older. Now, there are some Bank On accounts that I can tell you that do allow teenagers. There is one custodial account that we have that's Bank On certified for, I think it's between 13 and 17-year-olds. We've got another one. Don't quote me on this. I think it's Bank of America. They offer a checking account that is, you can be as young as 16 and open your own account. There is another one, and I cannot remember if it's Wells Fargo or which bank it is, but there's another one that I know that it's Chase Bank. I can't remember, but there's another one we have where you have to be 17 years or older. So, so there are a couple options, but generally 18 years and up. You have to have a social security number, or you can have an ITIN number, you know, tax identification number, whatever that is for you. You need to have some sort of US street address, and that is primarily just for mailing. They want to make sure, A, that you are who you are, who you say you are, at least, to verify your identity, but also that's to send you your debit card. So if it can't be your house, make sure you use a friend or a family member's. That's okay. Your legal name, of course, you know, your birth date. And then I like to say that optional, you know, depending on the account you choose, not every single one is going to be $0 to get started. A lot of the options are. So you might need anywhere from $1 to that maximum of $25 to open the account. So if you have, and I like to add as well, an account and a routing number, if you have a current account and you want to move over, you want to move and get just a new Bank On account altogether, you certainly can. These accounts are available online, you can find them very easily. And I know I'm probably beating you to your next question, but I want to go ahead and let you know. So the types of banks and credit unions that are offering these accounts, they are, you can see a Live Credit Union, Affinity Plus, we've got Alliant Credit Union, these top ones, it's alphabetical. So these are all the credit unions up here. We've got Ally Bank, Bank of America, BMO Harris. So these are just a few of, like I said, those 24, 25 account options that we have available. So it's a lot of banks. But if you're sitting here wondering, oh, does my bank have a bank on certified account? Like, can I find or just ask them to give me one of those, right? I've had that question plenty of times, and it is totally fair. You certainly can. You might already be in a bank on certified account and you might not know it. Now, chances are if you're paying fees, you're not in a bank on certified account. But if you are with a big bank, I know Wells Fargo, they have a really good bank on certified account. They've had theirs for a very long time. Truist actually has 2, PNC has 2 as well. So there are multiple options. And whether that's at your current bank or if you're wanting to move to another bank, completely up to you. I will say one of the common misconceptions that I have seen and heard myself is that you can only have one checking account or one savings account, and that's it, and that's not true. That's not true at all. There is nothing that's gonna ding you or hit you. They don't check your credit score. There's no penalty for opening or even just applying to open a new account. So it's available for anyone and everyone that wants it. Like I said, as long as you have those requirements that you're able to do it. These 24 plus account options are the ones that are available to open directly online. Wow. So all you have to do is just go to our webpage right here. You find the one that you want that checks off all your boxes, and you just click on the name of that bank or that credit union, and it'll pop up immediately, that exact account opening page that you need to be on their bank on certified account. So we try to make it really easy for people, but they're all called different things. If you go into your bank, say you're with Bank of America, and you walk in and you say, "Hey, I'm looking for a bank on certified account. I heard this great talk at the virtual town hall with your Representative Harris and Mia, and I want to sign up for your bank on certified account." Chances are they will say, "Huh? What are you talking about? Or what now?" And that's generally just speaking because Bank On is newer. It's been around for the last 10 years or so. Really didn't pick up a whole lot of steam until we had the pandemic and everything went online. Everything became digital. We didn't have a choice, right? So, and on top of that, we were getting stimulus checks. And so people were receiving that money and they had no way to be able to get that money easily without some sort of bank or credit union checking account. So this really is something that we're still trying to let everybody know about, including the banks. So like I said, we made it easy for you. If you go to our webpage and you look and you click on the name of the bank or the credit union, it's going to take you exactly where you need to be.
And I was going to ask you kind of mentioned some of the online or, like the Venmo and those type of apps. Why is it important to set up a bank account or a credit union account in the first place?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would primarily, my number one answer has got to be to save money. If you want to keep and save more, if not most of your money, open a checking account, open a bank account. There are a number of amazing benefits that you can access if you have a bank or credit union account. I'll just say a checking account. If you have a checking account that is, like we're talking about, secure and affordable, that works well for you, that's really going to be something that's going to help not only save a lot of your money, it's going to help you build the money that you do have, right? There are so many different accounts that we have. We're talking about checking accounts right now and bank on certified accounts, but a number of these, you'll notice they're with big banks. They also offer savings accounts. You can easily connect that savings account to your bank on certified checking account And you can do savings roundups, you can do interest bearing options. You can see actually we have interest earning accounts that are bank on checking accounts. These aren't savings accounts, these are checking accounts that earn interest and earned cash back. So you can find, like I say, along with these, a whole host of other things that these banks and these credit unions provide. You miss out on that a lot more when you're using just an app only. Now, that's not to say that mobile or online only banks and credit unions are a bad idea. I don't mean that by any means, but I mean, if you're, like you mentioned, using Chime, or if you're using maybe a financial technology online that's only just giving you the basics. It's just giving you a checking account. You might be able to get a savings account. Chances are it's going to offer you a credit card because they want to go ahead and get you spending more money. There might even be buy now, pay later options on that fintech that you're using. So it's just, honestly, you're going to save a lot more of your money if you have it in a checking account that is safe, reliable, and works for you, versus just doing a in and out transactional account. I will say with Chime and with other fintechs that are offering just a checking account. So if you Venmo, I know is one that does this. They'll offer you a debit card. You can get your checking account through them. I don't want to knock them by any means. I know Venmo's works well for a lot of people, and that's awesome. It can be a useful tool, but I think if that's all you're using, if that's all you're leaning on, you're missing out. You just are. You're missing out. You're not able to access a lot more of the product options that you can if you are with a insured bank. You also don't have nearly the customer service that you would be able to access. You have to rely on either they're going to answer you in the chat with their little auto bot, or you call a number and hope to God somebody picks up and knows what they're talking, right? And even then, who knows? It's not, this is the kind of area where it's a little bit more precarious. There's a lot more high risk because it's not regulated. At least with banks and credit unions, we have regulation. We have safety nets in place there. We know exactly what happens if a bank fails. You know, we saw that earlier last month and the month before that in the news with the bank failures. But we know what happens when a bank goes out of business. The FDIC is meant to come in and make sure that nobody loses their money. And that's truly not the case at this point in time, at least, that we can say for, you know, financial technology and more of that area, if you will.
Those are really good points. And I just have one more question. If I sign up with the Bank On program, does my enrollment expire? Is there like a limited time for the services being offered?
No, not at all. Not at all. As long as the bank or the credit union is in business and offering that account, you are more than welcome to sign up and keep that account as long as you are willing and able to. And like I said, if you want to have multiple accounts at multiple banks, there's nothing wrong with that. I have a coworker at our Suncoast Credit Union that does great work in Tampa, who always will compare shopping for a bank account like shopping for cereal. She'll say, if you're going down the grocery aisle and you're looking at all of the different cereal options, you might grab one box of something and one box of something else because you want to try something different. And, you know, you can grab whatever you want. There's not going to be any penalty. If it doesn't work for you, you can close a bank account. It's okay. It's not like closing a credit card account. It's not going to hit your credit score. There is no impact there. As long as you can afford to have a bank account. So and that means, you know, paying that monthly maintenance fee if there is one, making sure you have, if there is any sort of, there won't be if there's a minimum balance at that bank, you never know. There won't be any inactivity or low balance fees. I can tell you that much, not on a Bank On certified account, but you know, it depends on what you choose. So it really varies. There's a lot out there that is available. So yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
hope that
think
answers your question.
it,
Yeah, but it's
it
not a
did.
time sensitive thing in any case.
It did. I think this is such a great program, and hopefully everybody listening, has better understanding of what the Bank On program is about and what services, it really offers to everybody. And Mia, I want to just thank you so much for, spending some time with us this evening to explain this really, beneficial program. Where can listeners find if they'd like to reach out for more information about the Bank On program?
Yeah, so absolutely the best place to go is going to be our webpage right here. That's www.hfuw.org/bank on. And that'll take you to our full webpage. That'll show you what Bank On is, why it's important, some of the key things that we do in the community, and it'll show you this amazing comparison chart of key features. So this is one that we have found really, really helpful for a lot of the people that we talk to, because having so many Bank On certified account options is amazing, but we have so many options, which gets a little bit overwhelming. So for that reason, and not all Bank On accounts are made the same at all, right? Not all banks and credit unions are made the same. It's the same as any other product on the market. They all are competitive. They offer different things. And you don't know what's out there because a lot of times they don't really market themselves. So we did the homework for you. We put them all in a handy dandy little chart. Like I said, these are all, if it has an underline here, it is able to be clicked on. You can click on that bank or that credit union name, and it'll take you right to their Bank On certified account opening page. So you can compare and see, not only do these accounts have no fees, which is great, and are super affordable, like we talked about, they also offer all of these extra stuff. We've got identity theft and fraud protection that is offered on a lot of these. Credit building products offered. That means that they just offer some sort of credit card or line of credit that you can open at the same institution. No minimum deposit. That is exactly what we were talking about earlier. So you need nothing to get started. 9 times out of 10, they'll say you have to put something in the first usually 60, 90 days or so. But if you want to just open, if you're like, yes, I'm ready to get started today, even though I don't have anything, that's fine. Just look for one with an X in this column. Zelle is another one. Are you familiar with Zelle?
Yes, I am. And I know how convenient it is to use to pay for even bills. Some people now can pay their bills with Zelle.
Yeah, they do. That's very true. That's very true. They're coming out with all kinds of new stuff. But yes, I fully agree. Zelle is it's a money transfer service, and it is free because it is paid for by your bank or your credit union. It's not paid for by the consumer. So we get to take advantage, and a lot of banks and credit unions are able to partner with Zelle. You'll see at least the bottom 3 have Zelle here. A lot more of them on the list, I can tell you, also completely for free. So if you're using Venmo or if you're using PayPal, you're sending people money a lot, you don't have to give that up. You don't have to, take that away necessarily. But you can use Zelle as another option and not have to pay any of this for sure. The thing I also will mention about Zelle is that it is a direct wire transfer. This is going to be money that's coming directly out of your account and going right into that other person's account. It's not going to be, there's no middleman like there is with Venmo and PayPal, right? There's no in between waiting, processing period. You don't have to pay more to get your money immediately, nothing like that. It's out and it's out. Some of the other features we have are, like I mentioned earlier, these accounts, some of them earn interest. They will pay you to have an account, which is awesome. They will also give you cash back on an account, which is amazing. Having a physical location in Greater Orlando, this is one that we also make a really big distinction here because, like I said, I don't knock the online only banks. There are plenty of good ones. But some people like to go into a branch. Some people like to be able to have that human face-to-face interaction, right? And that's important. So if that's important to you or anybody that is interested in opening an account, I would say make sure you are looking with a physical location in Greater. There are also the early paycheck option. You can get your direct deposit up to 2 days sooner. So take that, Chime. We have a plenty of them on the list that will do that. And then most recently, we noticed that a number of them, I think there's at least 5 or 6 of them now on the total list, that offer free financial counseling through their credit union or their bank, which is so awesome. You don't have to pay anything for that. And you get access to those tools and resources. So like I said, there's a lot of amazing options out there. They're not all the same. If you have had your singular bank for a long time, think about what you're getting out of that. Think about, what is it doing for you? Are you happy because it is helping you build your wealth and your money? Or is it maybe time to reconsider and think, is this maybe not working for me? Maybe there's something else I can be taking advantage of. Maybe I can look at an option that will give me that free financial counseling, or maybe I want to get paid a little sooner. That's a great option as well. So whatever works best for their situation, I would highly recommend these as a great starting point for really anywhere along the way. I can tell you, I got my first Bank On certified account last year. I've been doing this work for almost 2 years now, not quite. But I got my first account last year, and it was a game changer. I got interest on a checking account that was paying me for the first time in my life. It blew my mind. And on top of that, it paid me more than my savings account for the last 10 years before that ever did.
Wow.
So yeah, it was incredible. Highly recommend.
That is incredible. And I know Sergio is going to, my district aide is going to drop the information in the comments for the website, so people can just click on that. And I just want to also give a big thank you to Daniel from the United Way, Heart of Florida, who really worked so hard. He helped set all of this up. And Daniel, I'd like to invite you to say a few words if you want to.
Thank you, Representative Harris. Once again, I appreciate your continued support for some of our programs. And I want to thank everybody that's listening to this. We are bringing this program to help you guys be financially stable, and it is one of the core tenets of United Way. And we're excited that we are promoting this. And if you get a chance to utilize one of these accounts, we would love for you to do so. And once again, thank you, Representative Harris, for representing your district so well and doing all the good work that you're doing.
Well, a big thank you to you, and a huge thank you to Mia for, really explaining what the program is. It's such a great program, and we appreciate all the resources that you all offer. And that is going to be it for tonight. A recording of this live will be posted shortly, and also will go out in a newsletter. And as usual, if you have any questions or concerns or suggestions, please feel free to reach out to us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at Rita for Florida, or you can contact our office. And I just want to thank everybody again. Thank you so much. This was so informational. I know a lot of people are going to get a really good use out of it. And that's all for tonight. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.